The Krell warship hung in orbit above Earth Colony Outpost Delta 7, its jagged silhouette blocking the light from the binary stars. Inside the vessel's detention level, 12-year-old Emma Parker trembled in her cell, bruised and exhausted from days of questioning. The aliens wanted information about human defense systems, but what could a child know of such things? Captain Marcus Parker stood ramrod straight before Admiral Wilson, his weathered face betraying no emotion despite the storm raging within him. "They'd taken my daughter," he said, voice flat and controlled. "Request permission to retrieve her." Admiral Wilson's face softened with sympathy. "Marcus, I understand your pain, but we can't authorize a mission based on personal." "With respect, Admiral," Parker interrupted, "the Krell have abducted a human child. If we don't respond, they'll believe all our children are fair game." The Admiral studied Parker's face. Most officers saw only the decorated captain, the calm leader, the strategic genius. Few remembered what Parker had been before, one of only 50 humans to survive the notorious Chimera program, genetically enhanced super soldiers created for the Proxima War. The program had been deemed too dangerous, too inhumane, and shut down. Its soldiers were given desk jobs or quiet retirement. "Very well," Wilson said finally. "You have unofficial sanction. 1 ship, minimal crew. The military will disavow all knowledge if you're captured." Parker nodded once. "Thank you, sir." Commander Thrix of the Krell Imperial Forces reviewed the data from the human child's interrogation. Disappointing. The creature knew nothing of strategic value despite their advanced questioning techniques. Perhaps its progenitor would prove more useful. Records indicated the child's father served in the human military. "Commander," his lieutenant called out, "we're detecting a small vessel approaching. Human design, but it's broadcasting no identification codes." Thrix flared his neck ridges in annoyance. "Destroy it." "Sir, our weapons aren't responding, and our communication systems are offline." Parker guided the stealth craft into the Krell ship's maintenance bay. The 3 soldiers who had volunteered to accompany him, all veterans who'd served under his command, checked their weapons in silence. They knew the odds. They'd come anyway. "Remember," Parker said quietly, "we retrieve Emma and leave. No unnecessary engagements." The soldiers nodded. They'd seen Parker in combat before. They knew what he was capable of. Alarm sirens wailed throughout the Krell vessel. Commander Thrix paced the command center, furious. "How did a single human breach our defenses?" he demanded. The security feeds showed the human moving through the corridors with impossible speed and precision. 3 Krell warriors appeared on screen, confronting the intruder. In a blur of motion too fast to follow, all 3 fell. The human hadn't even slowed down. "What is this creature?" Thrix whispered. His science officer looked up from her console, eye membranes flickering with fear. "According to intercepted communications, he's designated Chimera 17, part of an enhanced warrior program. They were designed to fight the Proxima hive minds." Thrix felt cold dread settle in his stomach. The Proxima had nearly conquered the Krell Empire before mysteriously retreating. If humans possessed warriors that could challenge them. And we have his offspring, Thrix realized. Lockdown detention level. Now, Parker moved through the alien ship like a ghost, his enhanced senses mapping the vessel, his augmented muscles and reflexes allowing him to eliminate threats before they could react. The Chimera program had changed him at the cellular level, faster, stronger, able to process information at speeds that made normal humans seem like they were moving underwater. He'd given up that life when Emma was born, become a regular officer, a father. Now, as he sliced through the Krell defenses, that carefully constructed veneer fell away. He wasn't Captain Parker anymore. He was Chimera 17, the perfect soldier, designed for one purpose, destruction. Emma looked up as the door to her cell disintegrated. A figure stood in the swirling smoke, a man in simple black armor, spattered with blue alien blood. "Daddy," she whispered. Parker knelt before her, gloved hands gently examining her injuries. His eyes, normally warm brown, had taken on a strange golden glow, a side effect of the combat hormones flooding his system. "I'm here, sweetheart," he said softly. "I'm taking you home." He lifted her carefully, cradling her against his chest. Close your eyes now. Don't watch. Commander Thrix sealed himself in the command center, the last officer still alive. The ship's security feeds showed the human warrior moving toward the docking bay, a child in his arms. Behind him lay the bodies of Thrix's finest warriors. A message flashed on his console from the human vessel. This is Captain Marcus Parker, Earth Defense Force. You took my daughter. I took your ship. Consider this a warning. Humans protect their young. Remember that before you take another child. As the human craft detached from the crippled Krell vessel, Thrix realized a terrible truth. The human hadn't destroyed the engines or life support. He could have killed everyone aboard, but had chosen not to. This wasn't vengeance, it was restraint. 2 weeks later, Admiral Wilson watched Emma playing in the hospital gardens. Her physical wounds were healing well. The psychological trauma would take longer. Parker stood beside him, once again the controlled professional officer. The Krell have sued for peace, Wilson said quietly. Their commander sent a personal message. He said they had not realized humans were comparable to the Proxima. Parker watched his daughter laugh as she chased a butterfly. We're nothing like the Proxima, he said simply. They fight to conquer. We fight to protect. Wilson nodded. The Krell commander seemed to understand that distinction. Apparently, it terrified him more than anything else. As Emma ran to her father, arms outstretched, Parker smiled and knelt to embrace her. In that moment, he wasn't a super soldier or a decorated captain. He was simply a father who would move heaven and earth, or destroy an alien warship to keep his child safe. And throughout the galaxy, word began to spread. Beware the humans. They appear gentle, civilized, diplomatic, but harm their children and witness what they truly become.